right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Tragedy tonight in Franklin County, a small town community in shock after 2 family members are found dead inside a Pacific home.
A weather first, weather alert with some forecast changes. Rumbles of thunder and some overnight downpours. We're tracking what comes next.
And she got her start on the hardwood in Edwardsville. Now she's an ace in Vegas.
I'm just Kate. I'm just the, kid who had a dream to play at Iowa and lived that out.
How her fast break into the big leagues is inspiring the next generation of girls.
We start tonight in a weather alert. Storms are moving into the St. Louis region. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. There are no active warnings right now, but a severe thunderstorm warning lapsed in Warren County about an hour ago. And this storm system caused a tornado to touch down near Branson. Take a look at this incredible video captured by golfers just hours ago. The twister touched down at Paynes Valley Golf Course near the Branson Airport. No major damage or injuries were reported.
The severe weather threat here is minimal, but as you know, the forecast can quickly change. So let's get the latest from Chief Meteorologist Scott Conlon with the Weather First forecast.
And I think we have a couple more hours where, the potential of what we saw happen down in Branson still has, even though it's a very low probability, still a small chance of popping up somewhere reasonably close to west or southwest of St. Louis. That's why that warning was issued out in Warren County earlier this evening, because the storm itself was rotating and the base of these clouds really low to the ground. So it doesn't take much rotation to spin something out of the cloud and touch the ground if you can get a storm to do that. Right now, none of these storms are. They are producing some heavy rain, and so that area back into far southwestern Montgomery County and then heading into parts of mid-Missouri, that's under a flash flood warning. We haven't reached that criteria anywhere close to St. Louis yet. In fact, most of the rain's to the north and west of us. This big upper level system, it's going to spin through the region. As it does so, the next round of showers and thunderstorms across south central and southeast Missouri may impact our southeastern counties during the wee hours tomorrow morning. But again, it's unlikely there would be much of a severe weather threat with that at all. There's just not a very strong wind field to begin with, but we are looking at showers and some rumbles of thunder in there, some downpours for sure, and that storm strength, it's limited. We'll see in a few minutes. We'll talk more about the rest of the week because today and tomorrow, not the only chances for rain this week.
All right, Scott, and you can always get the latest Weather First forecast on KSDK.com, the 5 on your side app, and streaming on 5+. You can also text the word weather to 314-425-5355. We'll be happy to send you a link.
We are following a developing story out of Pacific tonight. That's just about 40 minutes southwest of St. Louis.
A man and woman were found dead in a home just down the street from Pacific High School and an elementary school. 5 on your side's Laura Barcheski spent the afternoon there talking with neighbors.
Neighbors who live on Cedar Ridge Drive were shocked to come home from work to their street completely blocked off by Pacific police cars.
Parked my truck and seen the hills closed off and knew it was a big story up there. That never happens in a subdivision like this, so we knew something was going on.
Pacific police say they were called out to the home around 1:45 Monday afternoon. Investigators say someone had been trying to reach their family member that lived there but couldn't, so they came by to check on them. They found 2 of their relatives, a man and a woman, dead inside the home. One neighbor says she's been a teacher in the area for years and knows the family that lives there.
It's sad definitely for the family, of course. It's sad that members will have to go on without their family. And it's scary that you're in a community that is so tight-knit. And our houses we're right next to each other.
She says police patrol the area regularly because the schools are close by, but they've never really had any trouble.
It shakes you. You're 6 houses down from where 2 people were killed. That shakes you. Our kids, ride their bikes down here. Anything could have happened.
People in the area spend a lot of time outside on their porches trying to figure out what happened, as they haven't heard much from police and still have a lot of questions.
Are we all safe? Can we feel safe in our homes again, being so close to that?
Another neighbor says while they're all adults now, he went to school with the 2 kids who lived there, and his mom has been friends with their mom for a long time.
And, we're all just heartbroken. So prayers to the family, condolences to the family, and I hope they can start the healing process soon. So
everybody's praying and do what they can, and to help anybody who needs help. And I think that it's going to take a while for everyone to feel safe again.
Reporting in Pacific, Laura Barcheski, 5 on your side.
And Pacific Police have not released any additional information, but are working with the Franklin County Sheriff's Office on this investigation. We'll update you as soon as we get more information. We are following breaking news out of downtown St. Louis. Police are on the scene at the Civil Courts building where a person was hit by a car. This is near the intersection of Market and Tucker, right across the street from City Hall. One person was taken to the hospital. Their condition is not known at this time. We will bring you any new developments on air and on the 5 on Your Side app.
New tonight, 5 people are being treated after a serious crash in North St. Louis County. The two-car crash happened just before 6 near the intersection of Larimore Road and Laredo Avenue. That's in Spanish Lake. We're told at least one person suffered life-threatening injuries. The cause of the crash remains under investigation. Tonight, we know the name of the 15-year-old killed in a quadruple shooting in North St. Louis County. 3 other teens are still in the hospital. The shooting happened late last night on Tolley Road, just off Chambers and Bell Fountain. 5 on Your Side's Robert Townsend went to the Riverview neighborhood tonight to try and learn more.
Yellow crime scene tape lies on the ground just feet away from where police say 4 teens were shot on Mother's Day. It happened shortly after 10 Sunday night outside this apartment complex on Tolley Road in Riverview. The boys range from 15 to 17 years old. Police found the 4 wounded teenagers here in this driveway just outside this apartment building. 15-year-old Corian Edwards died at the scene.
He was like 25, 30 shots, and they were coming like back to back. It's coming, but it's not like that.
This neighbor was sitting in his car when he heard all the gunfire.
Like 4th of July, fireworks to the point to where I had to, you know what I mean, kind of duck down in my car.
You were afraid?
Yeah. It was so loud.
By Monday evening, police said a second teen remained in critical condition. 2 others are expected to survive. Many in this neighborhood had safety concerns. This woman asked us to not show her face.
That's messed up. The kids. You're supposed to be doing something the kids supposed to be doing.
As of Sunday, at least 14 teens have been shot in St. Louis County. 6 of the young victims died. Meantime, police are still looking for the gunman and a motive in Sunday's shooting.
I think the cops will find them, though.
In Riverview, Robert Townsend, 5 on Your Side.
If you know anything about the shooting, you're asked to call the St. Louis County Police Department. You can remain anonymous and possibly receive a reward if you call Crime Stoppers. That number is 1-866-371-TIPS.
Tonight, police are searching for the person who opened fire at Alton Memorial Hospital. One man was shot in the shooting early yesterday morning. He was treated for non-life-threatening injuries. A door was also hit by gunfire. Police say the victim and suspect know each other. And tonight, St. Louis police continue to investigate a gun battle in a busy area of the Central West End. Here is surveillance video of last Tuesday's shootout outside the Qdoba and Wingstop on Lindell. 2 men, ages 21 and 22, later showed up to the hospital with gunshot wounds. Investigators say the gunfire stemmed from an argument involving 2 other men. If you know anything about this shooting, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. You will remain anonymous. 866-371-TIPS.
A Chesterfield man has pleaded guilty to an attempted attack on the White House. Federal prosecutors announced the plea deal with Cy Kandula today. Investigators say last May, the then 19-year-old flew to D.C., rented a U-Haul truck, and rammed into a barrier outside the White House. Kandula then got out and waved a banner with a swastika on it. He faces up to 10 years in prison when he's sentenced next month. A St. Louis County man will be sentenced next week for his role in a hazing incident at a Mizzou fraternity. Ryan Delante pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor. The charges stem from a party at the Phi Gamma Delta fraternity in October 2021. Freshman Daniel Santulli was left unable to walk, talk, or see after suffering severe brain injuries from alcohol poisoning.
We will not stop. We will not rest. It's closed. Divest.
Some commotion outside Washington University's commencement ceremony this morning. Pro-Palestinian protesters gathered outside Francis Olympic Field, voicing their opposition to the university's relationship with Boeing over its connection to Israel. There were no arrests. Inside, 3,400 grads took part. Actress Jennifer Coolidge delivered the commencement speech and touched on the protest at schools across the country.
There is war and famine spreading across the world. There are, as you know, protests on campuses across the world.
And toward the end, a small group of students stood up and yelled. Others walked out as Chancellor Andrew Martin took the lectern.
The WNBA season tips off this week, and rookies like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are bringing new energy to the league and to women's professional sports.
You can add Edwardsville standout Kate Martin to that list. Annie Krall has more on the newest member of the Las Vegas Aces.
With only 12 teams and a maximum of 144 roster spots, the WNBA is one of the hardest leagues to make. And about a month ago, Kate Martin wasn't even sure she'd be drafted at all, but she'll be on the opening day roster tomorrow night.
They don't take very many. It's tough.
But Kate Martin did it, continuing to brighten the spotlight on women's basketball after record-breaking numbers of viewers during the Women's March Madness tournament.
I would never call myself a sports celebrity, and I never will, even if I was the most famous person in the world. My brain doesn't wrap around that. I'm just myself. I'm just Kate. I'm just the, kid who had a dream to play at Iowa and lived that out. And I'm just, a daughter, a sister, a friend, a teammate.
Former teammates with Caitlin Clark, also making her WNBA regular season debut Tuesday. Both players now inspiring the next generation at Martin's alma mater, Edwardsville High School.
It's just so fun to watch them because it kind of just shows the power of women's sports and what they can really bring into the game. They brought so much hype to the game and all these viewers, and it shows that women can do so much.
And Martin's autograph is ready for it.
Well, when Kate was little, she used to say, when I'm famous, people are going to see my name in their house. So sure enough, our friends who live in our house down in Edwardsville open the drawer, and there's Kate's name hidden way back in the corner of
Clark was the #1 draft pick. Martin was drafted in the second round.
We had heard maybe Indiana would take Kate the third round. That was our best hope for the draft. Obviously, that didn't happen.
But as more people watch this season, it may mean bigger returns, as early 2000s WNBA player, now Aces GM, Natalie Williams said.
Just to get the excitement around women's basketball that we have now, we had a good crowd when I played, but it's just amazing. And it's wonderful for these young athletes to get this. This is what they deserve. I'm sure in the future, the financial part will come along with it.
It's going to be a big week, and again, the Aces kick off their season tomorrow night in Vegas, where they will take on the Phoenix Mercury.
Pricier protection. Tonight, 5 ways to save big on your home insurance policy and to avoid losing coverage. When storms hit, hospitals say, oh, baby.
And we definitely know we're probably going to be a little bit busier.
The science behind a flock of storks when it's raining cats and dogs.
While a few downpours remain in the forecast, any heavy rain's not going to last for an extended period of time. We are tracking the weather challenges, though, as we head into Tuesday.
Tonight, the music world is mourning the loss of Grammy Award-winning saxophonist and St. Louis music legend David Sanborn. Sanborn collaborated with big-name artists, including Stevie Wonder, the Rolling Stones, the Eagles, and Eric Clapton, earning 8 gold albums and 1 platinum. The Kirkwood High School grad even has a star in the St. Louis Walk of Fame in U-City. Sanborn first discovered the saxophone at the age of 3 while recovering from polio. He recently battled prostate cancer. David Sanborn was 78. Blame natural disasters, inflation, and where you live. Chances are you're probably paying more for home insurance these days.
In some cases, a lot more. The good news, the money-saving experts at Consumer Reports found ways to trim rising premiums for significant savings.
Start by shopping around. Consider a local independent agent or broker who sells policies from several insurance companies. They might also recommend policy add-ons to help your coverage keep up with inflation, which is important when you file a claim. While you're at it, bundle coverage.
Purchasing your homeowners and auto insurance from the same company can provide savings of up to 30% overall.
Keep your deductible high. Higher deductibles mean lower premiums. Going to a $1,000 deductible from $500 might shave your premium by 25%. Do some home upgrades. First, look up.
The age of your roof matters. If your roof is old, your insurer may charge you up to 15% more. So, get ahead of the storm and replace your roof.
The same goes for older plumbing. Replace it. By the way, a home security system and gas and water leak detectors could also save you money. Clean up your credit. Like it or not, most insurers can use what's called a credit-based insurance score. They can check your score often and use it in pricing premiums. Finally, know this about pets, pools, and other pastimes. Some insurers say the risk of dog bites and liability lawsuits is greater with certain breeds. You might be denied or have to pay more. Trampolines and pools are safety risks, and if you're a smoker, that could be a fire risk. Also, report the truth. Not divulging honest information could lead to drop coverage if your insurer learns about it later after an accident.
Be cautious about how often you make a claim. 3 claims in 2 years might raise your rates or even lead to drop coverage. Also, listing your belongings can make a big difference in how much your homeowner's insurance will pay.
The spring storm season in Missouri has everyone on alert, especially hospital labor and delivery teams.
There is actually evidence to support that the drops in barometric pressure with bigger storms do bring on births. And you see forecasts with days and days in a row of those storms, then we definitely know we're probably going to be a little bit busier than otherwise we would have been.
Doctors at Mercy Hospital in Springfield say it's not an old wives' tale. Changes in barometric pressure can naturally induce labor for women who are near term. Doctors warn if you do go into labor during a severe storm, to wait it out if you can. If not, call 911.
And Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joins us now with the Weather First forecast. We've been talking about the rain. Fortunately, this week, no severe weather in the forecast.
You know, very limited chances really over the next few days. We had an opportunity this evening, although we had no reports out of Warren County, but that storm was spinning and the base of the clouds so low that it doesn't take much to spin, even under the circumstances that we're in, to create some problems. We saw that down in Branson today. We were in the 70s earlier. The first round of showers this afternoon knocked us back into the 60s, and we've stayed there for the rest of the afternoon. All part of this upper level system that's across the region, spinning waves of showers and some rumbles of thunder our way. We don't even see much cloud to ground lightning with this. In fact, you're probably wondering if you were out in Warrenton when that severe thunderstorm warning was issued. Didn't really hear much thunder because there was very little lightning with that cell, but that's moved on to the north, and we had no reports of severe weather. Really not looking at much of a chance, but there's always that small chance when you get just a little bit of rotation and really low cloud bases like we have here, and you actually have the upper level winds just slightly stronger down across southeast Missouri at this point. So we'll be watching it here for a couple more hours. If we were to see anything perk up, it's highly unlikely we'd have much of a hail risk. It would be mainly a brief spin-up tornado, and not like the typical ones that also come with gusty winds. It would be what you saw in Branson, which was really just the one tornado right there. That was it, and it was a very small one. You can see temperatures overnight holding in the 60s. Your chances for rain, they're with us again tomorrow. Off and on through the day, maybe some downpours in there. We've seen that tonight out in parts of mid-Missouri, but most of us have yet to get even 1/4 inch of rain. Most of us are less than 1/10. By the time we get done with this tomorrow evening, this wave anyway, we expect to see upwards of 1/2 inch to 1 inch with some localized amounts that are higher. But so far, only 2/100 of an inch at Lambert. Smart Field out in St. Charles, only 1/100 of an inch. Southeast breeze right now, 67 degrees our current temperature. We're staying mostly in the upper 50s to lower 60s overnight with those showers and that rumble of thunder continuing. Tomorrow, probably more in the way of rain compared to what we saw today. We're at 74 degrees for your high temperature tomorrow. We'll bring in our next round of showers and thunderstorms after this one leaves, along about Thursday, sometime Thursday, especially later in the day into Thursday night, lasting into Friday. That'll give us another round of rain with temperatures in the 70s, close to 80 by the end of the week. But again, it's not a favorable setup for big thunderstorms and severe weather across the area, which is okay.
Yeah, we're happy about that.
Saturday and Sunday, the chances for rain are much lower, so we may get a dry weekend for most areas and much warmer in the mid-80s.
That would be great.
Wednesday, though, is the pick day.
Yeah, so far, yeah.
All right,
Thanks,
Scott. Frank is here with sports.
A sportscast with some star power. Luther Burden, the latest on Edward Leuven, Jason Tatum, and the Cardinals pulling a Horace Greeley and going west tonight. We'll be right back.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers, driving your way since 1942.
Whitey Herzog was the smartest baseball guy I ever knew. Tony La Russa is a close second. But if you're handed a roster where your team is 28th in batting average and 21st in earned run average, do even these Hall of Famers win a lot more with this team? This roster was no laughing matter for Ali Marmol tonight against the Angels. Matthew Liberatore was hammered in the third. Kyron Paris goes shopping at the gap. It scores Zach Neto. Then Nolan Shanuel lays down the bunt. Nolan Arenado makes the error. Paris will score, make it 2-0. Then Kevin Pillar delivers the big blow, a 2-run shot that made it 4-0 Angels at this point. However, in the 7th inning, Arenado will homer. So right now the Cardinals trail it 4-1 in the 7th inning. LeBron James in Cleveland tonight to watch the Cavs play the Celtics, so Jason Tatum decided to put on a show for the King. Tatum had it all working tonight. He finished with 33 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists. Boston takes a 3-1 lead in the series after a 109-102 victory.
This 5 on Your Side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
City SC will host LAFC on Wednesday night. The intriguing question is the availability of Edward Leuven. The gifted midfielder hasn't played in 2 months because of a hamstring injury and a family matter. Coach Carnell still isn't sure if Leuven will play Wednesday or Saturday. He was on the practice field today. Now, one guy who will be playing is 5'8" Indiana Vasilev. The Vasilev family produced 3 generations of professional soccer players in Bulgaria. Indiana has become one of the true spark plugs for the squad, and the coach loves his personality.
A bundle of energy, on the field, off the field as well. And off the field, he rallies the guys together. He's a bit of a cheerleader in a good way in the locker room, right? He's getting everybody going. There's competition in everything we do. There's the ping pong, there's the card games, there's chess. He makes chess exciting, you know?
That's tough to do. I have no idea how City SC will end up. It doesn't look good for the Cardinals, and the Blues didn't make the playoffs. But the team we can bank on could be Mizzou football. The right talent and right schedule gives them a real chance to make the college football playoff. The guy behind me, Luther Burden III, is a star in the making. Luther's had a diligent offseason. He rarely goes out. His dad tells me he just works out. He takes care of his dog and hangs with his girlfriend. He's dropped about 5 pounds, he says, to be quicker. ESPN is going to be following his season step by step, and the NFL loves his future. You're on a lie detector right now. Do you ever look at a mock draft?
No, I don't look at no mock draft right now.
Never?
Nah. I mean, I look at them, you know, they're cool, but it's a long time from now.
Hey, I had a guy on the other day, Arlad Scouting Service. They had you going as high as like 5 or 6.
That's pretty crazy, man.
The NFL schedule will be released in full on Wednesday, but they're tossing out breadcrumbs until then. NBC will kick off the season with the Chiefs and Ravens, and maybe Taylor Swift, a rematch of the AFC Championship game last January. Mark your calendars, set your DVR for Thursday, September 5th at 7:20, right here on 5 on Your Side. And how about this? Lions quarterback Jared Goff signed a 4-year extension worth $212 million. So he will make $53 million a season. That's second only to Joe Burrow. He's 29 years old and coming off a 4,500-yard passing season. So the moral to the story is make your son a quarterback.
Exactly.
Yep.
Especially if he's as big as Jared Goff.
Goodness. Thanks, Frank. It is the second oldest sporting event in the country, and it's a dog-eat-dog competition. The 148th annual Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show is now underway. 2,500 dogs from 200 different breeds are competing at the Arthur Ashe Stadium that's in Queens, New York. The top prize, Best in Show, will be announced tomorrow night. It's America's second oldest sporting event after the Kentucky Derby.
I always think of the movie Best in Show.
I
when
know.
see that.
That's a great movie.
So funny. You can now sip to support our troops. Budweiser is out with this year's Folds of Honors cans. Every limited edition case sold supports families of fallen or injured service members and first responders. And the annual Folds of Honor Roundup at the Register campaign, sponsored by Schnucks, kicks off this Wednesday. 5 on Your Side is a proud sponsor.
And you have a final check of the weather. A lot of rain this week.
Yeah, you know, we have the chances again tomorrow and then again on Thursday and Friday. So Wednesday, kicking off the Folds of Honor campaign, will be good. Here's what's going on, though. Your showers, southeast Missouri. Could see a few down towards Farmington with some brief heavier rain. Eventually, that gets to Chester. What's off to the northwest of St. Louis? None of this at all is severe or all that strong, but it is producing some downpours right now. We'll keep an eye on the radar for you.
And there you have it. 5 on Your Side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Be sure to start your day with Today in St. Louis at 4 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.